Good evening, hello and welcome to the News Epicenter. I'm Anusha Soni. There's fresh trouble brewing within the Rajasthan unit of the Congress party. Congress leader Sachin Pilot staged a day-long dharna against Rajasthan Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot. Mr. Pilot alleged that the Gehlot-led state government has not taken any action in the corruption cases against BJP leader Vasundhara Raje Scindia, who was the Chief Minister of Rajasthan from 2013 to 2018. Now, Sachin Pilot has termed this as a fight against the corruption. The party high command sees it as an anti-party activity. The disgruntlement and the dissatisfaction of Sachin Pilot is well known. After an open rebellion in July 2020, the present dharna by Sachin Pilot is indeed his political assertion ahead of Rajasthan Assembly election. What does Sachin Pilot stand to gain through this dharna? Is this merely a political point for better bargaining powers? Or is this the beginning of a fresh storm that could lead to a split within the Rajasthan Congress? Our focus on News Epicenter tonight.
उस सरकार में तमाम जो भ्रष्टाचार हुआ, करप्शन हुआ, उसके विरोध में आज एक दिन का मैंने अनशन रखा था और इस मुद्दे को मैं बहुत लंबे समय से उठा रहा था।
इसके बारे में हमने राजस्थान के जो प्रभारी महासचिव हैं उनसे कहा है, राजस्थान का प्रश्न राजस्थान के प्रभारी महासचिव से पूछेंगे तो सही रहेगा।
आदमी की डेढ़ था अनशन पे, तो ये तो अपना अधिकार, वो पूर्व सेंटर मिनिस्टर रहे, प्रदेश अध्यक्ष रहे, हमारे डिप्टी सीएम रहे, तो चीज उठा रहे हैं तो कोई चीज तथ्य होगा तो ही उठा रहे हैं। अशोक गहलोत जब सीएम रहे कभी भ्रष्टाचार के आरोप नहीं लगे।
राजस्थान में कांग्रेस के नेताओं ने आपस में लड़कर प्रदेश का बहुत नुकसान किया, जनता का बहुत नुकसान किया। केंद्र की योजनाएं भी जनता तक नहीं पहुंची क्योंकि सरकार पूरे 5 साल से आपस में लड़ रही है।
Well, joining us on the broadcast is Tom Varakan of the BJP. He's joining us on the broadcast. We also have Mr. Abhijit Majumdar, the consulting editor of First Post, with us on the broadcast. Mr. Majumdar, coming to you first. How do you see the move by Sachin Pilot? A mere political assertion in the run-up to assembly election to remind the Congress party of his prowess? Or this is the beginning of a bigger trouble for the Congress party?
Is this for me?
Yes. Abhijit ji, aapke liye, for you.
Hello.
Mr. Majumdar, if you can hear me. All right, we'll try and fix that connection with Abhijit Majumdar. It seems like he has a problem listening to us. Mr. Tom Varakan, I'm coming to you, and I have to ask you this question because each time there is a trouble within the Congress party, the obvious thing which is said is, look, this is courtesy the BJP. You are creating troubles within the Congress party for your own political benefits. You have done it in Madhya Pradesh and you want to do it in Rajasthan. That's what the Congress party says. Mr. Varakan.
It's surprising, even if it rains in Rajasthan, or they have a storm or a tsunami. Of course, tsunami won't occur in Rajasthan.
Yeah.
It is the BJP that will get the blame. I mean, that is standard operation of the Congress party. Now, the situation here is this young man has been protesting too long. He has raised this issue earlier too. And there was some kind of a reconciliation, and then he was promised the sky, and that's not delivered. I've known his father a long time back. And I find there is a parallel happening here too.
Yeah.
The father was like, he was connected with the ground and he was always a winner in terms of elections and what have you. And the issue of dissent started at one stage and that was growing. And of course, he met with a tragic end. That's another story for another day. But let me tell you, this young man has been protesting for the right reasons. They promised to look into the corruption of the BJP, okay? The BJP, and why is there no investigation? Now, this is, from the point of view of the Congress, he is within the rule book. He has not said anything against the party. and he's demanding that this corruption issue should be looked into. Gehlot, as is a well-known magician, he plays his magic and he makes it sound that this is anti-party activity. And you have the in charge already from some station outside Rajasthan saying this is anti-party activity. So there rests the matter. Now, what will happen, what will not happen will depend on the wisdom of the Congress High Command.
Sachin Pilot is still within the Congress party and you sound very sympathetic to his cause. Should we see this as some kind of a door ajar with the BJP for Sachin Pilot?
See, I mean, I've known this young man. I've known so many people there. I mean, there's no soft corner for anybody.
Yeah.
We are political people, friends, yes, ideologically different. But, you know, there is a cause for which he is fighting. And that's part of their manifesto. Now, there is another indicator that you have compromised with corruption. You know, the take is different. So this magician is trying to say that, look, this man is anti-party. Now, I think it is with the wisdom of the Congress party to decide what is anti-party and what are the limits of anti-party.
Okay.
But yes, BJP does not have to depend on any of these circuses that is going on there. We have our ground feedback. We are doing well. People are coming to us. Law and order situation is tragic. There are indications of women being not only harassed, raped and murdered.
Okay.
And there's nothing happening.
Sticking to what Sachin Pilot is doing and what this means for the Congress party. Mr. Sanjay Jha is also joining us on the broadcast. I believe Mr. Abhijit Majumdar is also back. Mr. Jha, coming to you first. Mere yet another spectacle of infighting within the Congress party, or perhaps the sound, of a bigger trouble brewing in for the Congress party?
To be honest, I wish the Congress had acted upon the problem that it is facing today long time ago. In politics, as in life, you can't airbrush a very visible challenge. And, just kind of following some old archaic style of management, which is that, you defer taking a decision in the hope that by some miraculous intervention, things will address themselves. It doesn't really happen that way. You got to take tough calls. These are powerful leaders. Both Mr. Pilot and Mr. Gehlot have their own formidable track record. But the truth is that the Congress really should have been on top of this, because there's a Rajasthan election coming up. And we have been talking about this public spat between Mr. Gehlot and Mr. Pilot for a long time. Now, I want to just kind of, cut to the chase and give you a very reductionist argument. All the Congress party has to do here is to say, listen, between Mr. Gehlot and Mr. Pilot, both of them are good candidates. They have their pluses and minuses. Who is my future for Rajasthan? And I think that answer is pretty straightforward. Mr. Gehlot has been a chief minister 3 times. Sachin led the Congress effectively to the last election victory, has wanted to be the chief minister, believed he owned it, was denied. 5 years have gone. Mr. Gehlot has already been a chief minister. If even now...
Mr. Jha, I don't know if it is going to be that simple for the Congress party, because if it was so simple, a 2 + 2 math, then I believe the Congress party would have done it. Abhijit Majumdar, coming to you. Is this... does this problem have a solution in the first place? I mean, it's easy to blame the leadership of the Congress party and say, look, this is an infighting you've not taken care of. But back in 2020 as well, there was an intervention by the Congress High Command. The Gandhi siblings came in. They pacified, Sachin Pilot and said you should be back into the party. But clearly the issues, the key issues, the core issues have not been addressed. Are they even capable of being addressed by the Congress party?
Yeah, you're right, because the Congress had 5 years to solve this problem. I mean, every state does not necessarily have to have one big leader. There will be states, and it's great for the party if there are 2, good leaders in a state. But in Congress's case, it has made that advantage into its weakness, into its vulnerability. It has not been able to satisfactorily show Sachin Pilot a roadmap within the party. It is actually, and remember this, that this is not a old timer like a Digvijay Singh or Ghulam Nabi Azad or anybody. These are people, Jyotiraditya Scindia, Sachin Pilot, even Milind Deora has been, speaking about the need to sort of reform the party and about the leadership. So,
Yeah.
we saw Kesavan join BJP. Now, these are young people. Many of them have been extremely close to Rahul Gandhi, Priyanka Gandhi, the whole the younger Gandhi, generation. But still, they have not been able to find a solution, so much so that they have had to come out openly, like Sachin had today. And Sachin is an asset. Sachin is extremely articulate. He's a popular. People like him. Even even people who support or vote for the BJP, like Sachin Pilot, or vote for some other party, maybe Aam Aadmi Party, they like Sachin Pilot. He is a mass leader, and if you see today's, his protest, you'll see that there were a lot of people there.
Yep, yep.
And very
He had the supporters pouring in from different parts of Rajasthan. And
Exactly.
in some way, it was a show of strength. And the short bite, Abhijit, that he gave to the media, he said that, look, this is my fight against corruption, and these are issues that I want to raise for the people of the Rajasthan, and I'm going to do that. Syed Abbas is also with us on the show. Syed Abbas, the issues within the Rajasthan Congress are not new. We have spoken about them earlier as well. The point of discussion here is that what is it that Sachin Pilot stands to gain through this open dharna, which in many ways is a borderline rebellion? You've had senior people from the party high command saying that this is an anti-party activity. We're not going to support this.
Well, Anusha, it's an open secret. Everybody knows that things aren't going too well with Ashok Gehlot and Sachin Pilot. Today, I truly think that the Rajasthan Congress is caught between the devil and the deep sea. The devil being the BJP and the deep sea being the rift between Ashok Gehlot and Sachin Pilot. The fact of the matter, if you closely notice, not a single incumbent MLA of the Congress party is with Mr. Sachin Pilot. Neither do we see any banner hoarding during this protest of Congress party. So this clearly shows that here Sachin Pilot is a lone wolf. He might have a few supporters there, but even Congress abhi majboor hai, because most of the large MLAs are with Mr. Ashok Gehlot. So therefore, even if the Gandhis want to do something about it, they're quite helpless. Because if they make a move against Ashok Gehlot, they lose the Rajasthan Congress. And where else will Congress rule today? So therefore, I think it's quite a flummoxed gimmick out there, what we see. I think Congress needs to get it together. Also, Ashok Gehlot, what is stopping him from taking a stand or taking a decision or an order of a criminal inquiry against the corruption done by the BJP? Is Ashok Gehlot is in a closed door exit cahoots with the BJP to stay in power? ये हो रहा है क्या कांग्रेस में? I truly think I stand with Sachin Pilot. Though he's a lone wolf.
I want to raise both these points. I want to move to the second limb of the argument. We have spoken about how this is the classic problem of the Congress party with no solution in sight. Abhijit Majumdar, for the Congress party, especially for Sachin Pilot, what does he stand to gain? The elections are just around the corner. So he's clearly, at least in this term, not looking out for the chair of the Chief Minister. What does he stand to gain from the Congress party? Is this about having better bargaining power within the Congress party ahead of the crucial decision of ticket distributions? Or this is a warning signal saying that if you do what you've done to me in the last 2 to 3 years, I won't stick around?
It seems like a a slightly emotional decision, that he's at the end of his patience. Also, what kind of confused? I mean, I'm a little flummoxed, because if Sachin were to make his way to the BJP, why is he raising Vasundhara Raje's corruption and protesting about it? So he is effectively, in a way, making it difficult for the BJP to take him as well. So is he then looking at either he is, looking at a, different kind of role within Congress, a larger bargaining chip, or he might be thinking of having a new party, starting a new party in Rajasthan, which will actually be very interesting, and it will change the game quite a bit. It may, at least in parts of Rajasthan, it will make it even more difficult for the Congress, which will face a very difficult election.
Mr. Tom Varakan, it's not the first time that there is political chatter about Ashok Gehlot and his alleged proximity to Vasundhara Raje Scindia. It's been argued that all these cases against the earlier Chief Minister of the state from the BJP were not pursued because in some way the present Chief Minister is in cahoots with the BJP. How do you find that allegation?
Well, Anushi, your audio is in a bad shape. I couldn't hear the consulting editor speak, and your voice again is breaking. But I do hope you can hear me.
Well, we can hear you fine. I'll just get that audio fixed up. Please go ahead, make your point.
The issue is whether an investigation is done or whether there is a whole elaborate connect. These are the accusations coming in from Sachin Pilot's team. And he himself. I mean, these are things that, chief ministers have known each other. Then the argument is she was not asked to leave the bungalow. These are courtesies normally extended to chief ministers. And I don't think it would be appropriate to read into it. Why was she not asked to vacate the place? There are certain old world courtesies extended. By that logic, you can't say that they have some kind of a deal going. The chief minister may be well aware that there is nothing in it, and then this young gentleman is trying to push for something which he believes is to be safe grounds, because he is not talking about the Congress corruption, he is talking about the earlier dispensations corruption. But what he did not say and what he meant to say is that there is a collaboration of corruption, that both sides are corrupt and that Gehlot stands for corruption. So this is a very clever, matured game that Sachin is playing, that either way, look, corruption, you're part of the corrupt team, you're supporting corruption. That's the strategy he's adopted.
Okay.
Now it's for the High Command to decide what they want to do with Sachin and with Gehlot.
Yes, Syed Abbas, a quick point from you, then I'll go to Sanjay Jha.
Yeah, a quick point, to rebut my dear friend Tom Varakan Saab. The fact of the matter, look at the way the BJP operates, the Congress operates. When the BJP operates, Rahul Gandhi is out of being a member of parliament. Tughlaq Lane, he's out. Also, Wayanad office, his phone line is cut, his electricity bill is shut. But when it comes to the same Congress taking an action against the corrupt cases where there is a substantial evidence, Ashok Gehlot ji does nothing about it. Why so? This clearly gives us a picture, which is we, the people of India, the Mango people, the Aam Aadmi, that there is something which does not meet the eye. There is a certain tacit understanding between Vasundhara Raje and Ashok Gehlot. Otherwise, why Ashok Gehlot being Congress is not doing anything to the BJP? This is absolutely shocking and ridiculous.
Mr. Sanjay Jha, indirectly, or I would rather say to anyone who understands politics, even from the surface, it's pretty clear that the point Sachin Pilot is trying to make is that there's a reason why the present Congress-led government is not taking action against the earlier Chief Minister of the state from the BJP, Vasundhara Raje Scindia, pointing out to an alleged link or an understanding that exists between the two. Basically, he's trying to bracket the BJP and Ashok Gehlot together.
See, the truth is that those corruption charges were serious, which is why it was something that the Congress promised to investigate and look into. Now, Sachin Pilot has got his own political brand in Rajasthan, and in my opinion, even pan-India in various constituencies. He is raising a very valid point. You're 9 months away from an election. And, end of day, why do you contest an election? To win, right? And I think he is raising today, I think he's killing two birds with one stone. And that's what politics is all about. Mr. Gehlot has not been extremely charitable in his articulation of what he thinks of Sachin. And I think Sachin has reciprocated that sentiment with equal gusto. I think the real challenge here is the fact that there will be a lot of people who will speculate, and I can see my friend Tom believing that. But let me tell you, I know Sachin well enough. Let me say this publicly on your program. He is not joining the BJP under any circumstances.
But why do you say so? Why do you say so?
Well, you have a right. You can trust me or you don't have to trust me. That's
No,
your call.
I'm just asking you. There must be valid reasons why you believe something like that, Mr.
Well,
Sanjay.
I don't have to make a disclosure of that too. All I'm making a statement here is this, that the Congress party will stand to lose if they allow this drift, which should never have happened to begin with, to continue. Because politics is a competitive space, not just inter-political party, but also intra-political party. And as somebody rightly pointed out on your program, the Congress has an advantage or had an advantage of a surfeit of talent. Now, you can't afford to make that asset into a liability. And even today, it's not too late. It's not too late to address the problem. I mean, this, by the way, happens in the corporate boardrooms every day. You have conflicting interests. You get two people together. You sort out the problem. By assuming that things will, figure out a way and come election, we'll bury the hatchet. That's not the way to fight an election. And I believe Congress needs to wake up and smell the coffee, because the last thing on earth you want to do is to create another Punjab.
Another Punjab or another Madhya Pradesh. Abhijit Majumdar, coming to you. Is this going the Scindia way? Is this going the Madhya Pradesh way? For the simple reason, Mr. Sanjay Jha says it with a lot of assertion and confidence that Sachin Pilot is not going to BJP. I said it to Mr. Tom Vadakan also, that he sounds very sympathetic to the cause of Mr. Sachin Pilot. What is your assessment? If Sachin Pilot continues to remain dissatisfied within the party, this disgruntlement only goes in the run-up to the elections. What are the plausible options for him?
Well, as I already said, Sachin Pilot is going to be very valuable for the BJP. If he joins BJP, he's articulate, he's young, he's a mass leader, and as well as he comes from the backward caste. I mean, politically, everything is in his favor, but I'm just a little confused about his attacking Vasundhara Raje, and then that to my mind makes it difficult for him to join the BJP. So the comparison with Jyotiraditya Scindia and Madhya Pradesh, if he is not joining the BJP, the analogy doesn't stand. But there is a very distinct possibility of him maybe trying to float a new party.
Float a new party. Is that an option for Sachin Pilot? This was also something, Syed Abbas, that was discussed back in 2020 as well, when that open rebellion was staged by Sachin Pilot.
Also, as a matter of fact, Anusha ji, I completely stand with my friend Sanjay. Absolutely. There is no go that, what I've seen, heard, read about Sachin Pilot, he will never join the BJP. I'm sure my friend Sachin can write on blood and give you that. I can give you on stone, though. But nevertheless, coming straight to the point, the fact of the matter, the Congress needs to be careful here. Because when it comes to the Rajasthan, they never vote the same party twice. It's either the BJP, Congress, at least in the last 15, 18 years, what we have seen. So therefore, there will be anti-incumbency and there is a higher chance of BJP coming into the fray. In order for Rajasthan not to go the Madhya Pradesh way or any other way, the Congress needs to stitch its acts together, keep the mighty foothold of Ashok Gehlot's MLAs along with the Sachin Pilot, and that is the art of politics. I think back in the days, Ahmed Patel used to do it beautifully. If they can bring in a new age Chanakya, and if Rahul Gandhi's Bharat Jodo Yatra really worked, let's hope for a better Congress. Otherwise, the political opposition needs a backbone in Congress. And if that goes afall, it's going to be a win-win for BJP.
Mr. Tom Vadakan, you've heard other co-panelists who seem to know what Sachin Pilot is up to very well. And Syed Abbas and Sanjay Jha are pretty clear in their head. They're saying Sachin Pilot will never join the BJP. Well, we have heard that before, and we have seen leaders then joining the BJP. Are the doors open for Sachin Pilot from the side of Bharatiya Janata Party?
Good question. There is no such issue right now. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, sir. Please go ahead. I
said there is no such issue before us right now. People come, people don't come. That is purely their personal point of view. And if Sanjay and his friend believe that he won't come, I wish them best of luck. Because, politics is next 24 hours what happens, one doesn't know. But I'm not leaving any room to believe that they should be more careful of Gehlot rather than than looking after Sachin. So my closing remark would be, please take care of Gehlot, because there may be trouble that way.
What do you mean by that, sir?
No, I'll leave it at that. I leave it to Sanjay and the other analysts to take a view.
Okay.
So my concluding remark is just this.
Okay, I want to ask one more thing, then I'll go to Syed Abbas and other panelists as well, because all of them have some points to make. Mr. Tom Burakan, at the end of the day, the pot shots are taken at the erstwhile government in the state of Rajasthan, which was led by Vasundhara Raje Scindia and the BJP. Sachin Pilot is making direct allegations of corruptions, whatever he may have with Ashok Gehlot. One attack is at the BJP and the manner in which the government was run. I'm surprised that the BJP is sympathetic to the cause of Sachin Pilot, and you're saying right now that issue is not there on the table? Mr. Varakan?
Look, when we believe in strengthening of democracy, if there's an underdog which Sachin Pilot is right now, we have our sympathies with him, because he is fighting for something. And he's underlining the fact that Gehlot is with corruption. My only submission is, don't look at Sachin Pilot alone, look at Gehlot also very closely, because these wise men, from Sanjay to the analyst who is here, they have a view. And my view is, please have a closer attention on Gehlot, which would be useful.
Let's talk a bit more about the factor called Ashok Gehlot. Abhijit Majumdar, your thoughts on how Ashok Gehlot has held his fort? And despite multiple attacks and attempts by Sachin Pilot and various other office supporters, the kind of support Sachin Pilot has had from the party high command, Ashok Gehlot stands strong.
That is because Ashok Gehlot is an extremely astute, sharp politician. I mean, he's probably one of the top 5 most astute and shrewd politicians right now in Indian politics, even at his advanced age. And he can, and the Congress knows that he can, he commands a fair bit of influence. I mean, he is the person who commands the most influence despite Sachin's, popularity and his charisma. Ashok Gehlot is the guy who pulls the strings in Rajasthan. So that makes him extremely valuable, and that makes it very difficult for the party to basically, just brush him aside and bring in a new leadership, new order. And that is how, and he has the control of the MLAs in the state, the maximum number of MLAs.
Mr. Sanjay Jha, it is indeed true that Sachin Pilot has his own brand and his own following and charisma in politics, especially in the state of Rajasthan. But as the other panelists have been pointing out, Ashok Gehlot is an astute politician. He knows his stuff, he knows his territory, and he has held strong to it. Is Sachin Pilot overestimating his political fortunes and what he brings to the table?
If you give anybody power, they will look astute because they have power, right? You can distribute power and you can control the resources, you can control your MLAs. I keep hearing it all the time when we discuss Rajasthan, that all the MLAs support Mr. Gehlot. Well, if the Congress leadership had managed to, say, for example, get Mr. Gehlot as a Congress president and get Sachin in, trust me, if they had given a hint that Pilot would be the next chief minister, they would have all gone with him. I mean, that's the way politics operates. But let me answer your question. If Mr. Gehlot was truly astute, and I can tell you, and I'm saying so once again, I don't want to have to mince words at all. Firstly, he's burnt his bridges with the Congress leadership after his extremely, what I call as, dubious conduct in the way he hijacked the MLAs and wanted to be both the Congress president and the chief minister. I think that boomeranged against him. And frankly speaking, he got cornered. The second point, Rajasthan, as somebody rightly pointed out, is a swing state. Even if the Congress were to do well, it is a high anti-incumbency state at the moment, whoever was in power. If Mr. Gehlot was smart, he's been chief minister 3 times, he would actually hand over the power to Sachin Pilot, look like the grand old, man who took a moral position and let a young leader take over and let Sachin face the music. But the point is that even to do that, you need to get out of this position of lust for power. And I think this is a big commentary more, I think, on him than even the Congress party. What the Congress party needs to, however, realize that end of day, if you are not going to do well in Rajasthan in the assembly, you run the risk of losing a lot of seats even in the Lok Sabha. And you can't look at the election only from the point of view of the assembly because the Lok Sabha follows just 4 months later.
All right, Syed Abbas, I'll come to you, taking a word from you. Is Sachin Pilot overestimating his political might, or is it only by the virtue of having power in his hands that Ashok Gehlot looks like the astute leader, as Mr. Jha is arguing?
The fact is, Anushka ji, in the world of politics, Gordon Gekko once beautifully said it. Greed is good, but greed is very, very good. We need to understand the man Ashok Gehlot he is. He's been the 3-time chief minister. When he had the right time, he could have handed over the chief ministership to a young gun like Sachin Pilot, but he does not do that. There is a difference, stark difference between an Ashok Gehlot and between Sachin Pilot. And the difference is that a Sachin Pilot is an absolute statesman and an Ashok Gehlot is a conniving politician. For a statesman, even a BJP party, a washing machine party cannot do anything about it. CBI, EDIT can do no harm because this man is clean. You cannot buy him with money because he is affluent. He's a young leader. But he does not have what it takes to be the chief minister. That is the number of MLAs. At the end of it, the MLAs together along with the High Command decides who gets to be the chief minister. And Sanjay is right. This was hijacked by Ashok Gehlot. He knows there is no second coming. He knows he will not get another term because looking at the anti-incumbency and the voting pattern of Rajasthan, they will vote for the BJP. But still, let's see. Let's hope that people don't join from Congress to BJP or even the otherwise.
The last point on which I'd like all the panelists to put in their thoughts together is what lies ahead in the next few months in the run-up to the assembly elections. We have discussed the possible options for Sachin Pilot, but how is it that the Congress party can contain this crisis? Abhijit ji, central leadership is an often used term, and we talk about the quote-unquote weak leadership within the Congress party, which is unable to contain such crisis or address these issues at the grassroots level, at the core. Is there a solution in sight for the Congress party, or the best option for them is to just lie low, ensure that people remain within the party and hope that one day it will resolve on its own?
No, they can't keep hoping and the things will solve themselves. Problems won't solve themselves if the Congress leadership doesn't do anything about it and just keep hoping. And it's coming up again and again with Himanto, with Ghulam Nabi Azad, with Jyotiraditya Scindia. The leadership is not leading properly. The leadership is not listening to people who are of great value to the party. The leadership has, failed. I mean, it's a knee-jerk, turn on kind of, leadership. So it has to be a lot more hands-on call. If there's a problem, then call to people, just convey them your decision, take a decision, don't procrastinate.
Effective crisis management is what you're suggesting. Effective crisis management and open communication lines with the leadership is what you're suggesting. Mr. Varakan, do you have suggestion for the grand old party? You have seen these problems up close.
Well, I think they can get into winding up charges in Rajasthan, I mean, it is a real clear indicator. We don't need a Sachin Pilot or anybody else. We are confident of making it on our own. The situation there, the ground reality, I don't want to repeat what all is happening. It's there in public domain. So the conditions being what it is, the BJP is coming back with a thumping majority. That's my closing words on this issue. All right,
you don't need anybody from outside to switch or to make the fortune of the BJP. The BJP is confident on its own. Mr. Jha, do you have a word of advice for the Congress party? Do you hope that the leadership will be able to solve this crisis? Because the kind of bandage that they had put back in 2020, it clearly hasn't been able to address the wound.
Well, it's never too late to fix a problem. And I think what the Congress party needs to do first is to make sure that they win Karnataka comprehensively. You need a tailwind. You win Karnataka, the momentum comes in your favor, and you're able to actually then focus on these states, which are crisis states. I agree. Rajasthan is a crisis state. Chhattisgarh looks a lot more favorable. Madhya Pradesh, I would say, well, it's still iffy, but it's up in the air. But Rajasthan has definitely got a challenge. So I think win Karnataka. I think, in politics, you got to live in the moment.
Yeah.
You can't be living in the future. Win Karnataka and then get on with the job of fixing these problems. But at the end of the day, I think even today they have deferred it for far too long. And I would like troubleshooters to swing into action, have dialogue, get people face to face. That's how you resolve a problem.
All right, troubleshooters to get in. And I agree with you there, Mr. Sanjay Jha, that the political victory or an electoral victory in the state of Karnataka is going to be very crucial for the BJP and more so for the Congress party, because that's from where the political messaging will go right. Let's see what happens and if this time the Congress party is able to contain this crisis or not. I thank Mr. Tom Varakan, Mr. Sanjay Jha, Abhijit Majumdar and Syed Abbas. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us on the